Okay, resolution opposing the cash payment to the county.
So moved.
Second.
Floor is open for discussion.
I think we definitely need to do this. It's ridiculous that the town should be paying $375,000 in dollars when we could be giving materials back, and the library director is willing to give back materials.
And okay.
On the other, I mean, a thought that I've had too about this is, Emil just mentioned about the Phoenix Group looking into the finances, but who's looking into the validity of this contract that we have in our hands and that we've given to council, and it's there in writing that it doesn't have to be in cash. So where's the investigation into that? We need to press that. That's in writing. That's documented.
And that was one of the questions in Deb's report. Should our library council present a written opinion?
Yes,
on
I
that
think we
issue?
should.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We contacted our lawyer about this. Have we gotten any opinion from him on, how much we could return in material and how it would be depreciated? I mean, because I don't think we have to give $375,000 of current material. It's got to be depreciated some way. But certainly that would be a question for him or them to answer.
Yeah, I think Ralph is right, but one of our problems is that the town governing body is not working with us on this.
And
Obvious.
if I may opine for a moment, I mean, the odd thing is always that we're not a party to this contract. It's almost as if, my neighbor down the street took it to his lawyer and wanted to get an opinion. I mean, it would help us present our case because we have an actual attorney looking at it with actual attorney eyes, but we can't, we can bring the horse to water. We can't make him drink. We can't force the town to care.
Yeah, but if our lawyer gives us a legal opinion in writing that this is valid, that should hold a lot of weight.
I would think it would bolster any argument we make, because there are no lawyers in the room, are there? I mean, on the board, we're not attorneys.
Now, Deb, how about your organization? Do they have a legal compartment, like a legal department that could look at it?
They do. Well, I mean, actually, most legal questions don't go through the New Jersey Library Association. They go through the law library, but they are they won't do things like, no, I mean, the last thing they'll ever say to you is don't rely on this, or this is not counsel, or, they'll give guidance on how to think about something and where to go. But
could they give us guidance on this or not? Or you don't think this is something for them to look at?
Oh, I mean, I've been speaking with people, and of course,
okay,
they think it's valid to show it to a lawyer. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should go ahead and do that. I mean, we all have to realize this is really a dollars and cents question. I mean, the town collects $245,000 in taxes, and they give us $650. If with the county system, then they're really just on the hook for that $245,000. I mean, and they don't want to come out and say that because it's politically, it wouldn't be a good thing to do. I mean, they know the support that the library has. So they're kind of throwing it back on us and on the taxpayers and saying, look, we're going to have to pay all this money. So we really have to get that $375,000 question out of the way. We really have to understand that and just be able to dispute whatever they say that it has to be in cash and we're going to have to come up with this much money. I mean, that's really what I think is the most important part. I mean, they're trying to just go out the back door and save, $300,000, $400,000 in revenue that can go someplace else.
Yeah, I agree with everything that's been said, but I would just like to add, I think our first position should be that the county waived this several times.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second position is, I guess, obviously, if it's found that we do owe something, we do it with materials and we have to depreciate it, like Ralph said. It's not,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why I say we really need the lawyer to
Right.
say that, you know, what was said at that, freeholder meeting, and they said that they weren't going to come after us. I don't know if that's really a contract. I mean, I don't know if that's what weight that holds.
well, I think you got to combine it with how long they waited to try to collect this. And
Yep.
they had our last payment. If you owed me money and I owed you money, I would deduct it before I would pay you anything.
Yeah, right.
I mean, so I think, well, whatever. But yeah, I think we need a legal.
Yep.
Deb, Ed is muted. He can't get unmuted.
Again? Okay, let's see. Sorry, Ed.
We were trying to squash his opinion.
Thank you.
That's right.
My phone was ringing in the
Oh,
background,
gotcha.
and I muted myself,
Yeah.
and then it said I couldn't unmute myself. I didn't
I
want
have it set, so I don't think, I think it's all or nothing at all in terms of whether you're allowed to unmute yourself. So I have it set to people can't. So just kind of raise your hand. There you
That's
go.
okay. Sure.
Let me throw something out. This is my thinking about the materials and the money. If we are going to give them back materials, I would think that we should be doing it based on the cost of the materials at the time of purchase. So if a book cost $12 when it was purchased in 2011, that should be the value of that book if we're giving back materials. Because you don't want to, if you go with a depreciated value, you're going to give them back a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But if we have to give them back money, we certainly should be doing it based on depreciated value of those materials, because they got used by the people from outside the town who came to the library. And that this book that was purchased in 2011 is no longer worth $12. Am I not looking at that right?
No, I think I've actually never thought about that we'd actually do better with the cost at the time if we're doing materials. Now, one of the problems I have to warn you about, and this goes back to relying on what they said about not going after anything. Some of those materials that would be eligible to be given back do not exist anymore because they were weeded from the collection for lack of use, or they fell apart, or from or they're outdated.
Well, again, there was you have your subscriptions that
right.
That they used. Again, the first thing is we have to find out, do we really owe the money?
Right.
And then the second question is, how can we pay it back with the least impact on the library?
Yeah,
exactly.
So, again, going back, we need our lawyer to jump in there and say, number one, do we even owe the money? And then number two, what are we obligated to do? Pay.
Makes sense.
Any other discussion?
I just want to go to the lawyer. How does that process work? If he works or she works for the town, how do we get that person to do this for us?
Oh, we have our own board attorney.
Okay, all right.
Any other discussion? Okay, want to do a roll call, Deb?
I will. Okay, Mr. Brisson,
yes.
Mr. Bullock,
Yes.
Mr. DeBosch,
Yes.
Mr. Droley.
Ralph is muted.
Wave your hand, yes. Hold on, come on.
Please unmute me.
You're unmuted.
I am trying. Oh, I just unmuted somebody else, I think. Whatever. There you go. So we're doing roll call.
That was a yes.
You're a yes. Okay. And Ms. Meisner
Yes.
and Dr. Kehoe
Yes.